Hey, I'm Orlando Jones, and I just want you to know that the Moana Nui podcast will be starting soon. Stay tuned, yo.
I'm Veronica Taylor, and from myself and Ash Ketchum, I just want to say, Moana Nui, I choose you!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Moana Nui After Dark Presents, our discussion on The Marvels, a movie that just came out a few weeks ago that we'll be discussing. But before I bring in our panel, I do want to point your attention to the lower corner down there, the QR code. If you still want to help those affected by the fires in Maui, they still need assistance post-devastation. For relief efforts and things of that nature, just scan the QR code to give and assist, and we'll go ahead and get the show started with our panel as I bring them in. And I am purposely leaving the last person out for a few minutes because I would like to say that we are going to have a peaceful, sane discussion tonight. But as I bring in the sixth and final member, peace is not a part of his vocabulary.
I mean, you can look at my background and see that it's not going to be peace.
True. And I wish they would. I wish the movie would have written her to be that awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
No, it's not. That's not all I'm gonna say.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You basically wake up every morning.
I wish she was that awesome in that movie. I wish she was that awesome.
Says the man who loves the Flash.
First of all, you said you didn't.
But I don't.
Chill.
But
chill.
I don't.
Hold up, Kyle. Chill. You said you ain't want to moderate, so
I don't.
Backseat.
Down.
You're moderate or you're not. So since you ain't want to moderate, you're going to chill out.
All right.
You're not going to choose violence tonight.
All right. All right.
You are not going to choose violence tonight.
All right.
You do that every other day this week and last week since this movie came out. You've been choosing violence. Not tonight.
Again, Kyle, choose the violence. Let the darkness run through you.
Look at Chaos Bringer.
Embrace the dark
So
side.
aside from Kyle, how did everyone like the movie to start out with? Simone.
I loved it.
Teresa.
I'm right there with Simone. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Joy.
I really liked it. I think some of the things that I normally would like about an action hero movie is not what I liked about this one. Some of the action sequences, I was like, the dance number, really, we don't need that. But some of the interplay between the mother-daughter figure, the protege figure, the idolization, and then dealing with a mother of color and how they feel about what you're doing. I thought all of those little things were interesting. And yeah, but I liked it. 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Furious.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, but clearly, as you can see from my background, I've always been a big fan of the proper Captain Marvel. But one of the things that I loved about this movie, kind of along the similar lines to Joy, was the character development of the three main members of the cast, as well as their interaction with some of the secondary characters. The action was okay, but to me, all of the interplay and the development and things of that nature, to me, really made this movie.
All right. Kyle, don't choose violence.
Dracarys.
Don't choose violence, Kyle. Go ahead. How did you like How did you like or not like the movie? I don't want to say that you liked it. What initial thoughts?
Let me just get to. I'll just say a couple of things that I thought worked for the movie. Kamala Khan was, in my opinion, one of the best characters in this film. Her personality shined through. She was the heart of this movie. I had seen Ms. Marvel and loved her in this film. I thought she was awesome. I thought that she was stuck in one mode for the entire portion of the film, which is fangirl mode. I wish they would have written better dialogue for her, but we'll get to that later. And also, I thought it was excellent that they decided to go a different direction as far as the directing department, as far as some of the casting choices that they made. I thought it was awesome. I just wish it would have paid off. I just wish it would have. I wish the director would have gotten her full vision out. But again, that's why I didn't think the movie was great. So, yeah.
All right. So
okay. So, Kyle, to jump on what you just said about Kamala, I agree with you that she was the heart, and being the fangirl. Yeah, they could have pulled that back a little bit, but because she was a fangirl, she brought everybody together. Because everybody was still, you had Carol and Monica not really talking, and it was her who brought everybody together, even her own family. It's like you have to look at it. It's like you're bringing people together. Yes, you all bubbly, because I hate bubbly. It's early. I'm not bubbly. I can't stand bubbly. It's too early in the damn morning. You need to bring that down a little bit. She was bubbly. I would smack her in the face if I met her at 10 o'clock in the morning. But you needed that. That movie needed her bubbliness. And now, let me tell you, I did not like her in her movie.
Her TV show?
Her TV show. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was corny.
But seeing her in this made me like her. She pulled me in.
Okay, so I do want to backtrack there. Everyone is familiar with all the previous stuff that led into this, right? The Ms. Marvel TV show, WandaVision, Secret Invasion, Captain Marvel movie. Like everyone's all caught up, right?
Right.
All right, because this movie didn't pretty much. I guess for me, that's
not an origin story movie, so they gave you no context.
This movie just jumped in. All these characters are established and go. So if you didn't see anything before this, oh well, go back and watch so you can catch up and get to know. So I like that because it didn't spend any time wasting on getting up to speed.
Cut out? Could that have
been
it?
I don't think that's what they cut out. I highly doubt that's what they cut out, considering the tone of this movie, the pacing of it. And that was one of the things that I liked as well, was the pacing of the film. There was literally no wasted time with fluff in this movie. It started, it got to the point.
Kyle.
Ignore him.
It got to the point of what the villain's motive was, who the villain was, what they were trying to do and everything. And there was no subplot of this other thing going on over here that you kind of should worry about that's really not important. It didn't.
Right. There were no Infinity Stone level things in this movie where it's going to be a problem later. This really it's connective tissue. Like, this good movie, it sets him up and it sets up some other things to come. So yeah, it's in the same vein as Thor: Dark World, but it's a way better movie. But I'm just saying it didn't introduce anybody, it just furthered the story.
Yes. And
so I also think that's another reason that it kind of feels like a C+ or a B- to me, because it was good, but it's not something like when every time it come on TV, I'm gonna be like, ooh, I'm gonna go watch it, unless it's a certain couple of scenes. Like every time I even so much as hear Wakanda, I'm watching it all day, every day.
Yeah, that's different.
It's different, but it still was a bar that this movie is never going to reach that bar. And I think, I don't know if we were on the air or not when you said it, but it speaks to Furious's point about the content or the caliber of the actors and actresses in this movie. Like, it's a whole bunch of up and comers. They even had one of the biggest K-pop idols for that cameo, and he can't act. I probably I hope nobody sees that, because I don't need them. I don't need them that smoke with the K-pop fandom. But it was a whole lot of potential, and we're seeing it grow and potentially get better. But they're never going to get to Chadwick Boseman's level. They're not going to get to Winter Soldier's level. At least not in the next 5 years. So
there is, I will say, there's a buildup to get to that point, and the problem I have is that people want to skip that buildup and they want the A-list grandiose adventure now, and we're not going to get that. And I need people to have patience. I know that's a horrible word to say to younger generations, especially someone on this panel, but you need patience. Like, we went through 3 phases before we got to what everyone deems the end all be all of comic book movies of Endgame. Yeah. Right. There was build up there.
If you think about it, because I was about to say the difference between like this phase and phase 1 was like all the origin stories are in phase 1. And we're going to have more origin stories here, but you had like big names. And as I thought about it, actually, when they launched these movies, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. was a has-been drunk. Dude, I forget the dude from Memphis, Maine. What's his name?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard convinced him to take a chance on him, and it turned out well.
Yeah.
And then who else? Thor was an unknown. Chris Hemsworth was just a dude with muscles.
Yeah.
And the only reason I remember that is because the fact that Tom Hiddleston tried out for Thor and not Loki was like circling on the internet again. And it reminded me that Chris Hemsworth was another basically nobody.
Joy, prior to phase 1, the only thing I knew Hemsworth from was Cabin in the Woods,
which I didn't even see.
Me either.
But
it's an okay movie. But again, like you said, they were the biggest name in phase 1 was Terrence Howard, and he's not even here anymore.
Oh, shout out to Terrence Howard for getting put out.
But
you go back and look at that. You go back and look at that phase 1 cast.
You are correct.
But
you go back and look at that phase 1 cast. He's the only one, at least that I know of, who was nominated for an Oscar.
But can we highlight why? Can we highlight why Iron Man was so good though? Because of the writing. Because you had an impassioned director, Jon Favreau, who's familiar with the source material, who they let just do his thing. Because it was a well-written movie. Like I understand that the casting in this isn't as powerful, isn't as great as like Don Cheadle or Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans or whatever, but you make up with that with good writing.
I'm sorry, it was good.
The writing was good in this film.
Let me ask you something, Kyle. What about the writing to you was bad? Let me ask.
So first, how do you not go more into Monica and Carol's relationship as far as that connection that they have between themselves? How do you have someone so smart as Monica Rambeau for her to ask a dumb question or be so mad at Carol Danvers for breaking a promise that she wouldn't come back when Monica was gone from a snap? Like, if anybody should realize what feels like to be gone, it should be her.
You didn't like this movie because you don't have emotions. I understand.
Kyle also, between the time that Monica last saw Carol and Monica seeing Carol again, that's what, 20 plus years?
Yeah.
I'd be pissed too.
But also, let's go back to what you said about the snap. Because I understand the points you're trying to make is they didn't even go into all this stuff. But from Monica, you asked, well, how could she be mad about that when she got out in the snap and then came back and blah, blah, blah. From Monica's standpoint, her questioning is not of a logical PhD student, a PhD and the logical question to some hypothetical theory. This is one of those "why don't my mama love me" type of questions, and it's not going to be completely
emotional. It's not
the
logical.
emotion behind it, I'm afraid to say it. I don't know if I want the answer to this question. I don't know if I want to even talk to her. But she still is thinking about it with the mind of the last time she saw her. You didn't keep your promise. And then all those years. One thing that men have never understood about women is if we are mad about something, holding it don't make it better. It don't go away. It doesn't. Y'all don't think y'all can come back later with like, hey, you still up? Well, that doesn't work. We still mad, and we're even more mad now because we've had to hold it and sit on it for so long. So a black woman mad at the age of, we'll call it 10. And then 20 years, well, 15 years, because she did get snapped. But when she came back from the snap, her mother is gone and Carol is still not there. Missed all of the chance to Bon Air. And then another 10 years, yeah, I hate you next time I see you. It went from I'm disappointed to I hope you die, hit by a truck. I mean, that's
she didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her mother, but she was there. She came back to talk to her mom.
So you don't think they could have written more, like everything you just said, Joy, as far as her that emotional weight of holding that in, of having that emotional weight for Monica. You don't think they could have written that into the movie?
Dude, my point is that they did. That's what I got from the movie. That's why I said you don't have emotions.
I got that too, Kyle.
I don't read any of the comic books. I've been introduced to Monica Rambeau through the MCU and Disney Plus. That's all I know. So for me to have picked up all that background just from the movie arcs means that they have done their job with writing it. If you needed them to say out loud, "I'm hurt because you did not come back for my mother's funeral," you're supposed to infer that from the acting that you saw.
Okay, but they don't know that she didn't come back for her mother's funeral.
She almost said that. She didn't use those exact words, but she pretty much said, "Where were you when my mother needed you?"
Right.
She was there. She made a promise to her mother to watch her daughter. She made that promise to her. So if I'm not here or when I'm gone, something I can't remember her exact words, but she made her promise.
Monica doesn't find that out until they do that whole mind meld thing where they get each other's memories, and then she realizes that she had been there. Monica was gone, unfortunately, because she had been snapped out when that happened. You know, so but she still got that well of remote resentment. It's hard to just shake that off with a couple of memories being seen.
Right.
Y'all think any of that was crammed?
No.
Crammed in this movie. Like
no.
Okay. All right.
What? So wait.
Kyle, when your girlfriend is mad at you, you don't listen to her?
No. So
you want the whole plot of the movie spoon fed to you? Line by line? Is that what you want? Because that's what it sounds like you want right now. Like didn't appease you because it wasn't said out loud. That's basically what I'm hearing.
Kyle has the floor. Kyle, say what you want.
So I'm just saying, it felt like a lot of the emotional stakes in this film and a lot of the stakes of the film felt crammed because they had to get the movie done. It was a short movie. It felt like a lot of storyline and a lot of scenes were all over the place. That's what it felt like to me. And I'm not alone, because a majority of the audience the people that went to go watch the movie felt the same way.
No, a majority of people who bitched and moaned about it felt that way, not a majority of the audience who watched the movie.
It's just
like when they hold these political.
Look at the audience score. Furious. Look at the audience score. Look at the audience score.
Who did they ask? They didn't ask me.
I don't trust the audience score.
It's like when they do these polls. It's like when they do these polls and it says 75% of the American population believes X, Y, and Z, and then they tell you, but we only interviewed 5,000 people. So no, that does not mean the majority. That means the majority of the 5,000 people they interviewed. You've got to separate that.
The majority of the planes came from incels. So incels only saw the movie? Because people went to go watch the movie. People would go watch the movie.
Say that.
No, we're not complaining.
A whole lot.
No, it's the comment.
Right. I understand the comment. Right. The incels are complaining. They
these are like poll questions on the internet. Answer this poll and give some of your demographics or whatever, or not. And they're just on the internet clicking numbers and saying, I hated it because girls with boobies stink or whatever. They're just mad. And so
Kyle, right now we've got 6 people on this panel who saw the movie, 7 counting Latoya. 1 out of 7 people didn't like the movie. That's roughly 14%. So from my perspective, 85% of the people who saw the movie that I know loved it.
Okay. All right.
If we're going to play this numbers game.
Okay, no, you got it. Marvel's moving in a great direction.
Now, can we say that
I disagree with that. That's not correct.
Well, this is what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly,
Before
Latoya.
y'all argue with
Hold on,
it.
hold up.
Before
Time
y'all
out, time
argue
out,
with
time
it.
out. Joy, go ahead.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Kyle, the either or that you're doing should not hold. It shouldn't stand, because what you're trying to say, look at what you just did. That's like saying, if you don't like Michael Jordan, you're a racist. Like the leap you just made doesn't make sense. I'm not finished talking.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
the rest of it is, if you're going to say this movie is good, we didn't say it was great. We didn't say it was the best, but you're saying it failed because you don't like it. And the minute we said we don't believe that, we don't agree with you, you're like, oh, well, I guess you just love the way the universe is going. Again, you're making a hell of a leap. And don't base your arguments like that, because they're gonna break down every time. So I'm just warning you for the future.
And it's okay that you didn't like the movie. That's okay. I didn't
I
like
don't
the
like Loki,
Batman.
and I'll fight Joy right now.
And again, like Latoya said, people were complaining about this movie before it came out.
Right.
I had a guy tell me it was terrible. He hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm. Because it was just all women. Men have a problem with an all-woman movie. To me, that's what I got from it. That's
and
what
the
I got from it,
majority of the women
especially
were
if they were black.
POCs.
Mm-hmm.
So that just added another element. Yeah, Kyle was frozen, but yeah, the majority
we
of the
did not
women
put
were
him out, right? He was
POCs.
frozen.
Yeah, we did not put out Kyle. He had technical difficulties.
Uh-huh.
I knew he must be frozen. He can be quiet that long.
I just, the comedy in it, to me, I laughed in the right places. I felt it was funny. Now the dancing part, Joy, I was in the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom, so I missed that whole. I'm gonna have to see the movie again, because I don't understand how they got there.
It's
how
silly.
he came into. I came back and they was at the end of the dancing. I'm like, how the hell did this happen? So,
but see, so Simone, the thing about that dance number, as soon as they got to that planet and Carol kind of explained a few things, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. It's going to be good.
Failed to explain because she was dropping breadcrumbs when she should have been dropping sledgehammers.
I knew something. I had a gut feeling something silly and a little out of pocket was about to happen. But again, these are comic book movies. There needs to be, in my opinion, there needs to be something kind of silly and a little out of pocket. I mean, so Simone, were you there when they first got to the planet?
No, I had left.
Oh.
Okay, so okay, I'm sorry. There's a. I'm trying to decide. Okay, well, no. It's a little bit of a spoiler what I'm about to say. Then.
Oh, I don't care. I'm good.
That entire planet, their way of communicating is through song.
Okay.
They don't.
I could say I have to go to the bathroom and be like, "Okay, I don't know what you're saying," but if I go, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, the bathroom. So. Absolutely.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah.
So when we found that piece out, I was like, oh, something straight out of a comic book is about to happen. And to me, it fit.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can
Kyle.
Cool.
Okay. So
go ahead, Simone.
So I figured Kamala was in heaven.
Oh yeah.
All of that. No, Joy? Is that wrong?
She just muted so she could sneeze or something.
Okay. So I don't know. For some reason, I thought that had to do with her planet or something that she brought everybody to. So I was so confused as to how they got there, because I thought her bracelet or somehow she manifested them to that.
Now, I thought the dancing part was silly.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the over the topness of the planet or the place where they were, because she was like, can you get us some outfits that are better for fighting or something like that? And they come back with these like just juiced up super dope versions of their costumes, outfits or whatever. So I mean, I really appreciated that. And the Korean guy, he ain't an actor, but he was cute. And I appreciated the fact that they added him to kind of bridge to another group of people into the MCU. So you know, I appreciated that. I kind of excused a little bit of what I thought was silliness because I have a low tolerance for silliness. You know, and
Yeah,
appreciated
see,
what the
you like
other
that
things.
Lord of
Huh?
Thunder. You like
Nah,
that.
she didn't like
No,
She didn't
no,
like Love and
ma'am.
Thunder. She did
Okay,
not
I
like
I
Love
could
and
have
like
Thunder.
sworn
Thor.
you.
I
Oh,
do like
liked it.
Thor.
I liked it.
I honestly, I love Love and Thunder.
The
I
only Thor
liked
movie
it,
I
but
didn't
the
like
goats,
was The Dark World.
the goats just got me every time.
Yes, dumb ghosts piss me off. Oh my God, I couldn't stand them.
I think I drew the line at the goats. Other than that, I loved everything else about Love and Thunder. But go ahead.
Again,
finish.
I love the fact that the goats are. And granted, I know everything doesn't have to be comic book accurate because we need more than just comic book fans to see
But
these
it
movies.
wasn't funny. Furious. It wasn't, to me. That's my opinion. It wasn't
That's fair.
funny
That's
in the
fair.
right spots. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
It was very inappropriate.
I was like, what the hell is all of this?
But-
I'm like, this Miss Marvel's.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, this. Okay, now I know why I'm laughing.
Well,
I'm laughing because of this. I'm laughing because I understood why I was laughing.
The other thing I would throw out about Love and Thunder though is, remember, I think there's still some debate as to who's telling the story of Love and Thunder. Because a lot of people, me included, think Korg is telling the story of Love and Thunder.
Then the ridiculousness would be appropriate.
Right.
Right.
True. But we're supposed to be talking about the
Yeah,
Marvel.
sorry, but yeah, I'm sorry.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Yeah.
Teresa, finish up your thought on the Marvels. What
I
you were
think
saying
I
as
was
far as-
done. I could be
Okay.
wrong, but I think I was done.
So Joy,
Wait, Cal, before you
I-
go and choose violence again.
No. I just wanted to hear Joy's point that she was making before I
Okay.
got botted out.
What's the last thing you heard?
You were saying it's not an either or. Like I'm doing the either or.
Oh, you
like-
missed the whole rant.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to watch the show back on playback. It's quite a
what
bit.
I was boiling down to is when you do those extreme either ors, it takes the weight out of your argument because it's saying that you have to jump to the absurd to make your point. And so, like when we were like, no, we think this movie was okay, you responded with, oh, so you love where the Marvel universe is going. There's such a leap there, you know. And
So but what I'm saying is, you don't think it's a leap that people that don't like this movie are incels? You don't think that's a leap?
So
There,
that's a comment from one of our folks. Wasn't anything we said we agree with. It was a little bit of a joke. No, we don't believe that.
Okay.
The incels do tend to be the loudest ones, though.
I mean, but let's just be real about it. A lot of the dudes who were complaining about this movie before it had come out probably are incels. I'll go on record and say it. I will go on record and say yes, Latoya is correct.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back to the comments, even when I posted the trailer in our group, I was like, I thought the movie looked dope just based off the trailer, just based off the visuals.
Again, I think it looks dope versus it's dope are two different things.
and the
You're
people
saying
who
what
don't
you
like the
think.
movie, the people who don't like the movie are incels is a different statement than incels didn't like the movie.
Yes.
Now, if you want to tell me after watching it, I thought the movie was trash, that's fine. That's your opinion. You've watched the movie. You're coming from a point of an informed point. But if you haven't seen the movie and you tell me it's trash, I don't want to hear what you got to say.
But
there's no but.
So again,
that's fact.
all of the
You have to
men
have
who
some
were
type of knowledge
trashing the
to make that
movie,
type of opinion.
yeah.
So
again-
none of the people that went to go see the movie, a good majority of their opinions don't matter.
No, but to say that the majority of the people didn't like the movie is not a fair assessment when you haven't talked to everybody or polled everybody. See, the polls that you have are a small percentage of the people who have actually seen the movie. It's not an accurate representation. If your poll group is 50,000 people, but 5 million people have seen the movie, how is that representative?
But it's the same poll group.
That's less than 1%, and that's quick
It's
math. Trust
it's
me,
the same poll group. It's the same poll group for these DC movies. The same poll group for these Marvel movies. That's all I'm saying.
Nobody polled me about this movie. Nobody told me about this movie.
I'm sorry. Was anybody on this panel polled as far as their opinion on the film? Anybody?
Nope.
Anybody?
But Kyle
Okay.
has a point. We have made fun of him in the past and brought up some meta score or whatever about how bad the movie was. So
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
we
Thank
gonna
you.
do-
But Joy, those were movies that we had actually watched and knew were bad.
But his point, but his point is we can't
watched
say
the
look at
movies.
the score, regardless of how we feel. We can't say look at the score, and then when he says look at the score, we say that doesn't count. So that's
all I'm saying. That's all.
Oh, yeah,
Because my thing is that score. The way the score matters in you guys' argument, as far as DC movies, that score has to matter. This has to carry the same weight in this movie. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, but see, but Kyle,
But
we
I
don't
use that
legit
score.
believe in.
I use my
we
two
don't
eyes and the fact that I saw these films. And I'm sorry, DC this year is 1 for 3.
But
Kyle,
that's
we
the thing.
also don't legit believe in those scores. That it's fun to throw those numbers around, but we believe in what we see. And if we see the movie and we think it's crap.
So okay, all right.
I mean, I told you I like the Batman, and I hate Robert Pattinson. I hate him. Hate him.
All right.
But I like that movie.
Exactly. As Latoya said, people have been talking trash for months.
Mm-hmm.
Before this movie came out.
How are you going to talk trash
isn't
about
that the same thing that they're doing about Aquaman?
But people are talking trash about Aquaman too.
They're talking trash about that. I like the trailer. I think it looks exciting.
Because people see advanced screenings of the movie. People see advanced
so
screenings of the movie.
Let's dial it back here to the Marvels. Let's stick with the Marvels. Aquaman 2 is somewhere down the road. Hopefully never, but somewhere down the road.
I hope not either. You know what? As a DC fan, I hope not either, because that movie is probably going to be trash.
I mean, you're going to be doing that one because that's your baby. So
yeah. I've abandoned that baby a long time ago, but
no, you didn't.
There's a comment in the chat says, isn't a good chunk of the complaints just comic movie fatigue? I would say yes, I believe so. I know there's I'm thinking about all the different series and sci-fi stuff that has come out recently. I can barely keep up, and I've lost interest in a lot of things that I used to love just because I'm tired of watching all this episodic content. I'll be like, I'm gonna skip this one. So I do think some of that affected, and after with the combination of the fatigue coming out of the writer's strike, and the movie didn't appeal to every demographic, if you will. Yeah, all of that came together to say it wasn't going to do the numbers it could have done.
I would say superhero fatigue, maybe, but then when you look at stuff like Invincible has been great thus far.
So they're not expecting Invincible to put up the numbers that a box office release is supposed to put up.
And Invincible doesn't have as wide as audience as the MCU. I mean, as far as a general audience who's never heard of Invincible, a very small, minute percentage of them are going to go over to Amazon and watch that, as opposed to a more wider general audience is going to go into a movie theater and watch anything with Marvel or DC slapped on it, regardless of who's in it.
Ooh, I like the point Latoya just made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Is it funny that comic book fatigue comes at the same time that diversity enters the chat? Again, not us, but it's just something that she noticed.
Yeah.
I think that's fair because I will say so, and this is just me. A lot of the negative complaints, comments, commentary that I've seen about the Marvels have been men.
Yeah.
And the major complaint, and mostly white men.
Yeah, Invincible is animated.
Yeah,
I've seen a whole lot of us.
Yeah, that too.
Shitting on the Marvels too, James.
Well, I mean, a whole lot of us also shitting on Black Panther 2 because of how the black women in Black Panther 2 were pretty much in the forefront and very prominent.
They used to shit on Serena Williams, if you think about it.
So
that is true too. Yep, you're absolutely right.
I mean, so that's out there, and I'm not denying that it happens. Now, me personally, I love Black Panther 2. I love the Marvels. I like seeing women of color in more prominent roles because the status quo, let's be fair, the status quo, almost every superhero character from the beginning of time up until roughly 30 years ago has been white male. And then anytime one of those, and because they're created by white men mostly, anytime one of them gets in their heads that, all right, we need diversity, the first thing they do is they create a white woman character. Because, and I get it, you're coming, even those who mean well are only creating from what they know. So if you have zero exposure to people of color, the odds are you're not going to create a character who is a person of color, male or woman.
And my favorite
So
part, James, in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when Ayo kicked their ass, all of them. When
Yup.
she
And
came
they're
in
not
there
even
and
super
she
He
came in
pulled
and
his
kicked
arm
their ass.
off.
Bucky with the good hair lost his arm off basically some 5-finger palm punch.
And
Yup.
they're not even super soldiers. That line to me was wonderful.
So
Yeah.
James, to your point, that in my opinion, I think is the disservice. Just in my opinion, that to me is a disservice that this movie did, because the fact that you had a black woman director, you had Tiana Paris as one of the forefronts of this movie, you had Iman Vellani as one of the forefronts of this movie. Those are two women of color, and this movie, in my opinion, wasn't written well enough. I feel like that executive interference and studio interference played a role in the way this movie was written, and I think that was a disservice. That's just my opinion.
Do we know that there was any executive and studio interference in this movie?
Yeah, actually there was, because I have seen articles from Variety and
Bob Iger even came out and said it.
Because if you look at everything that's happened, Nia DaCosta is her name, the director of the movie.
Yeah.
The things that I've read from the reputable sources that are out there, as far as what's happened with her after this movie's release, pretty much a downright criminal. Because if she were white and male, none of this stuff would happen. How is she not invited to the rap party? You know, or the how do you scapegoat her for, quote, not finishing the movie when she did finish the movie? You know, they talk about her leaving to go overseas to start another project, basically throwing her under the bus. Look, and I get it. This movie is releasing, and this is not the only movie that's not doing box office smash numbers. Again, we literally just came off 2 strikes simultaneously back to back. Nothing's doing well at the movie theater right now. Nothing is doing what studios expected to do. But making her the scapegoat for this film's lack of numbers as far as what their projections were is horrible. Like, they're literally throwing her under the bus for, you know, the shortcomings financially of this film. And that's criminal, because if, like I said, if she were white and male, this would not be happening. But the story's coming out. If you read Variety, if you read Rolling Stone, their articles as far as those things happening, it raises an eyebrow, because now it's like you're pushing towards more diverse characters in this, this ever expanding world, because you want to get away from straight white male, because that's basically what phases 1, 2, and 3 were for the most part. And you want to expand into the more diverse cast of the Marvel universe, which is heavily prominent as opposed to DC Comics, and expose these characters. And you want to get people of color in the writer's room, in the director's seats, to put these movies out. But when they see that you're doing this to DaCosta, what makes them want to come and do those films?
They're essentially blackballing her is what they're doing.
For lack of a better word, they're scapegoating her for, like I said, the minimal success of the financial success. I think this movie is a smash hit. That's my opinion. Financially, it may not be doing what Marvel and Disney want, but that's their fault. You know, they're partially responsible for that, because they're part of the big machine that caused the writers and actors to go on strike. That's on them.
So do you think the streaming numbers, when that comes out, as far as when the Marvels hit Disney Plus, do you think that would, I think
the streaming numbers would be better, because the streaming numbers kick up for almost every MCU film when it hits the platform. That hasn't failed. Every movie, every single film of theirs, after it hits the Disney Plus platform, the streaming numbers kick up and tend to make up the difference in most cases. So I haven't seen it where it hasn't yet. I mean, what were the last 3 movies? Black Panther 2, Love and Thunder, Shang-Chi. All those films did phenomenally well the moment they hit streaming. And, because now that the strikes are over, you can publicize these films better and properly, especially this movie when it hits streaming, that they should be able to make up a little bit of the revenue that they think they should have gotten from the theatrical release.
Yeah.
I didn't know she did the Candyman.
Yeah,
that
like
The
that
latest Candyman that came out.
Yeah, it was a great. It was a
the one that
visually,
had Jordan
it was a
Peele's
great
name
movie.
attached to it. It was good.
Yeah, that was like visually, it was a really good movie, and that was one of the reasons why I was super excited for this film, because I was like, "Oh, she's about to put her spin on this. Like, this is about to be awesome." And they handcuffed her so much, and that's why I was like, the fact that like how many female directors do you get for the MCU?
2.
How many?
She's the second one.
Right. How many black female directors do you get for the MCU?
She's the only one.
And this is the result. They handcuffed her so much, and this is the result. That's a disservice. That's a disservice.
Which I find weird because Coogler is the only other black person to direct an MCU film, and they basically left him alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you got to remember when Coogler came on the scene, they were very much afraid to fuck that up. So they let him do it alone, so that if it failed, it was all him.
All his fault. Right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Which
Fair.
I thought they should have just did this time.
Well, you know, the minute they see a black person succeed at something, they assume they can do it too. So Coogler was great. Let's let her work it. But we know the blacks, so you know, or the people of color. We know all the coloreds, and so we can step in and tell you what to do because we empathize. You know, we voted for Obama. I mean, all of that probably came into it.
So
the other thing that I'll throw out, which will be interesting, is so I saw the headline about Bob Iger saying that there needs to be more executive input in these movies.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's what Iger said. My thinking is them using her as the scapegoat for why this movie failed, their way of getting more execs on set during the making of these movies, which will essentially, if they're going to put again, what was it we said about Justice League? My kid loved Justice League, so there has to be a booyah in it.
For Cyborg, yeah.
If they've got more, if there are more execs on set, I really detest the thought that may happen with these movies, and I have a feeling they're using the Marvels and DaCosta as the scapegoat for that.
And that's why I've been saying this entire
cutting off their nose to spite their face.
In the group. In the group. What did I say? No, in the group. What did I say? What did I say in the group? No. In the group. What did I say? I said this is headed. This is looking real DCEU-ish. This is looking real DCEU-ish to me. And sure enough, what's happening?
I want to make the point that what you just said. You know, because we go back and forth about Marvel and DC. You just said y'all almost as bad as me now. Like that's not the flex, the diss that you think it is.
No.
Y'all about to be as bad as us.
Y'all looking real DCEU. Oh, DC is going through a rebrand right now. The DCU is about to be looking good. The DCEU look trash.
How do you know that? Wait, Tom. How do you know
I got faith. I got faith. I got faith in my man James. I got faith in my man James.
That's all you got. It's faith.
You and me.
Because there's nothing.
Hold on. Faith is a 5-letter word for the ignorant with no trust.
Also, the DCEU has co-CEOs. Name me one company that has been profitable and successful with co-CEOs.
Hey, we'll see how it works out.
Yes,
so you don't have it,
but we have not seen anything thus far. So I just don't understand how you are so happy and so faithful. I think it's more. To me, I think you got faith, but I don't know why. You know, it could go very badly. Yeah, James, he's got a track record and everything with the MCU, but it may not translate because the DCEU is DC, whatever it is very different.
Yeah.
So, question, Teresa. James Gunn had essentially carte blanche to do his thing on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They let him do his thing. There's no studio interference.
Yeah, because he's a white man. They let all of them do their thing.
No. This is all I'm saying. They let him do his thing on that. He is essentially running DCU Studios with Peter Safran. Just him and Peter. That's it.
There were other factors at play. You know, each movie is a formula, and he was part of a good formula for that movie. The same formula is not at play for whatever he does for the DCU. And my thing is, I hope they're good because I don't have superhero fatigue. I love that shit. You make a TV show, you know, something on a cable movie, a big box office movie with somebody with some powers in it, and I will be there probably twice.
Yeah.
Because I love it. But I don't have the faith. It could be bad. And I guess I don't understand why you have faith, but you know.
I mean,
And
Michael
plus
had faith too.
they've been working on it for so long, and I see all these articles. Well, they just started filming or they just started casting or whatever. I'm like, just make something.
Well, 2025 is the year. Teresa.
2025.
Yeah, that's when Superman comes out. No, that's when Superman comes out.
Wait. So Kyle, are you sitting here saying that everything up until 2025 is going to be suspect?
No, this is what I'm saying. The first
coming out in 2024.
Yeah, nothing's coming out for 2024.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, nothing live action for DC is coming out in 24. Only,
but you have Creature Commandos coming out in 2024. Yeah,
only animated stuff is coming out in 24 for DC,
which they do exceptionally well. I will give them that.
They need
Hopefully
to
in
stick to
2025,
animation
I'll
and
still
rock
care.
that whole industry.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Joy?
They need to stick to animation and just rock that whole industry because DC animated stuff is the best.
Yeah.
So
well, let's hope. I have faith that their film division, 2025, is gonna be moving in a new direction.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Kyle,
You know what you remind me of, Kyle? That sound that goes around on Instagram. You be like, "Is this your man?" Yes, that's my man. Bye.
Hell, make it 2027 or 2028. Make us miss Superman for a bit.
Make us miss Batman.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah,
and I
back to the Marvels.
I love Batman, but yeah. So back to the Marvels.
Yes.
Before I jump down Kyle's throat again. Oh God. Composure. So the post credit, I'm going to jump to the end. The post credit and mid credit scenes.
Yes.
All right. Where do we see this going forward as far as these characters? Just these characters in this movie, not pulling anybody else as far as how they're going to play, just these characters. We saw where Monica ended up, and we saw that Kamala and Carol found a common ground to where she's no longer fangirling, and we saw that replay of the post credit from the first Iron Man film between Kate Bishop and Kamala. So how do we see all this playing out going forward?
Well, I know with the Agatha Covenant of Chaos, or is it Covenant of Chaos, or is it Darkhold Diaries? Or?
We don't know. It's right now. Let's just call it the Agatha Show because the title of the show has been changed 5 times. That's not an exaggeration. It's literally been changed 5 times.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
So we've got
call it Agatha all along.
We've got Wiccan and Hulkling. I think Hulkling may be in that show, but I seeing pictures yesterday.
Hulkling.
You saw?
No, we don't have Hulkling. We have Scar.
I thought he said it was his son. Scar is his son?
Scar is his son.
Yeah.
Hulkling is not his son.
Hulkling is a scroll. Yeah, Hulkling is a scroll.
So we don't have Hulkling yet. We have Scar.
No, I'm saying like as far as for Avengers that may show up here in the future. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So Hulkling. You saw Isaiah Bradley's grandson in the but with that Disney fight, but with that fight, I don't know if
we're gonna get that kid.
Yeah.
We don't know if we're gonna get him.
And then what else we got? Riri Williams, maybe.
No, we definitely got Riri.
So
it isn't Spider-Man reset, like they reset him because he made everybody forget who he was and whatnot.
Yes, but because Sony is being buttholes, they are not.
Yeah.
I wish Marvel would buy Sony.
Okay, James, good question. How did you feel about all new, all different Marvel? Like as far as that as a complete run.
All
How
new,
did you
all
feel?
different Marvel. I didn't read it.
So I read
No,
it,
me.
and the concept was great, but my issue was the fact that Marvel didn't put their A-list writers on it.
Okay. I hope they put their A-list writers for the Young Avengers because I don't want it to end up like all new, all different Marvel, to where it was widely unliked, and then we have the Marvels all over again with all of these characters. It would be a shame.
The thing that I like about, at least with the MCU, is Kevin Feige is in control. Now, you can say that's
For
good,
now.
you can say that that's bad, but Kevin Feige is in control, and there is one cohesive vision for the MCU. Now, whether that vision is good or bad, there is at least one cohesive vision. The problem with all new, all different from the comics was there was no cohesive vision. Everybody just did whatever the hell they wanted to, because remember, from that run, Franklin Richards at one point becomes a mutant, and then whoever it was that was writing the Fantastic Four said, no, that's not really what happened. Franklin Richards isn't a mutant anymore. You had no direction, and that's, at least in my opinion, why that run wasn't more popular, because everybody was doing their own thing. The MCU, again, has a vision and a direction. And to me, that's how you keep something. It may not necessarily be the greatest, but at least you have like everybody moving towards the same point.
Even with studio interference, though?
Even with studio interference.
Don't speak that evil, Ricky Bobby.
But you know what? I also want to point something out. The first Iron Man movie came out when? 2008?
Yeah.
So that was 15 years ago? 15 years is a generation. And so we grew up in the Marvel generation, knowing Iron Man, having the reference to the song, first of all, that a lot of the younger people are not going to get. And I have some of the issues that I've had, like I can't stand Kamala Harris, not Kamala. I can't stand Miss Marvel. I stay in trouble with that. I can't stand Miss Marvel because I don't like kids, and I don't like the stupid decisions that kids make. I can see I had the same problem with Kate in the Hawkeye show. Like, oh my God, I had the same problem with Insecure with Issa Rae when it first came out, because these kids are making stupid decisions. Then I had to remember, oh, they're not even 30 yet. They're young and stupid.
Right.
What I'm saying about all this is, at some point, we will not be Marvel's target audience for these movies.
That is very true. Yeah.
And we're going to, just like we still listen to 80s hip hop, we're going to still be rocking with Thor and Iron Man and rewatching Black Panther, because those are our movies. And maybe some of this new stuff, we might start to edge out, and we'll sit back, not be as interested in what they're putting out, and say, oh, Marvel fell off. They fell off for us. But there's a whole generation that is identifying and related to this new content.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, I like how they're pulling in the X-Men. Finally, bringing that in.
Spoiler.
I mean, if you haven't seen the movie and you're watching the show, I feel sorry for you. But
I don't feel sorry for them. No.
I don't, because they should have seen the movie. If I can go see the movie, they should have went and saw the movie.
They should have.
Absolutely.
High five.
I will say, Beast, like this, the second time seeing this movie, Beast CGI was a little wonky for me, but I know we can get there. We can get better.
CGI is always a fickle thing. I will say I get the attempt they were doing with Beast, because they were really going for something off the comic book page into live streaming, zero variation whatsoever. And that's basically what that was. Not one of my favorite designs. Not one of my favorite designs for Beast in the comic books, but hey, he was on screen. I'm not complaining. I mean, this is the first legitimate connection we have to the X-Men. So I feel like that section of the fan base can shut the hell up about whining when are we getting X-Men, because you got an X-Man on screen, an actual legitimate X-Man with no allusion to mutant or anything. Here's an X-Man. Shut your face. It's coming.
But this is the second one though, James. You don't consider the wait, what movie was that? You
It wasn't a movie. The end of the Ms. Marvel series where she was
No. I'm thinking Professor Xavier from
from Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you, Multiverse of Madness. Couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, but considering that was an alternate reality and they were all that group of Illuminati were basically used to show how powerful Wanda was, I'm not really counting that. They were basically thrown out there as token representatives of those characters for Wanda to murk in 3 seconds. It's like, Wanda's really powerful, but we need a way to convey this to the audience who doesn't know how powerful she really is, because we failed to address that in Endgame. And Multiverse of Madness was the way to do it. So let's have her kill 7 of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe.
Oh, we saw that in Endgame. She was fucking him up.
Yeah.
So
I love what they're doing so I'm kind of with Joy. I'm not the biggest fan of like kid superheroes because again, kids make silly decisions. We'll see how that plays out. I didn't watch Hawkeye because honestly, to me, superheroes have powers and Hawkeye didn't have any powers, so I really didn't care to watch the show. I'm sorry. He's a hero.
So you didn't watch Black Widow either?
No, I didn't. She's a hero. She's not a superhero.
So the 2 things in the MCU you haven't seen, Black Widow and Hawkeye.
So they got to have powers?
To be superhero, yes.
They can be heroes. I'm going to watch both of those.
Again, it's just like
so
I look at.
Would you say that
Captain America and Black Panther
power is his intelligence?
Actually, yeah, that is his superpower. He's a hero. He's not a superhero.
Oh gosh, not this discussion again.
Again,
the point you were making,
but again. So I don't know how I feel about the Young Avengers team that they're putting together. I mean, I get you need the Young Avengers to constantly have a way of feeding new members into the Avengers. So that makes complete sense. And I'm sure they'll do I hope they do a good job with it. To me, I give them a little bit of wiggle room because of their track record. So I think they'll probably do a decent idea or a decent job. As far as the X-Men, I love how they're introducing the X-Men because it's sort of kind of lean in when Max says super. I love LaToya. She is great. I love how they're introducing the X-Men because I remember way back when we were all, well, maybe not us, but I know James and I, some other friends, we were having discussions on how the X-Men would be introduced into the Marvel universe. I got kind of close to what they did, but I didn't pick it exactly. But I got kind of close. I also love the fact that I like the story that they're going to use because there's a story in the X-Men universe where Captain Marvel is a member of the X-Men. And that to me is going to be, if they get the right people and all of that good stuff, and if they do it right, that would be a very cool way to introduce the X-Men. And also, since they talked about an incursion.
Maria Rambeau, yeah.
So in the comic, it's still Carol Danvers. It's Carol Danvers in the comic. As far as that, so we know it's Maria Rambeau in the movie. Yes, that is Maria Rambeau. Is that Maria Rambeau the mother of a Monica Rambeau? Who knows?
No.
She probably doesn't even have a kid.
No. Yeah, she probably doesn't even have a kid.
Different universe.
Yeah,
but
I love
think about the what do you call it, the canon moment or whatever, the decision. Remember how Monica the mother in our universe,
Maria
told Captain Marvel, "I'm glad it was you. It couldn't have been me." About the powers. In this universe, she is the one that got the powers.
Yep,
and that's how they're gonna roll forward with that. And so because of that, she never had a kid. Timing is off of what I'm thinking, but you get what I'm saying. So she didn't have a kid because she got those powers. And I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that they could be leaning towards doing something of a standalone alternate reality X-Men movie to introduce them with our universe's Photon. That'll be her name, I assume, in that universe. So now you can meet all the X-Men on that side in their own standalone movies or whatever, because it's a whole different universe. And then something blah 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 rip in space, and they all come together.
Come back.
So
yeah, that sounds.
So in the comic books, what happens is there are these incursions where all the different Earths from the different universes are all colliding with one another, and you do end up with a few superheroes hopping universes. And I have a feeling that's what they're going to do here.
Yeah, they mentioned that Multiverse of Madness when Strange was before the Illuminati incursion events. They don't happen often in Marvel Comics because they don't like doing it that much, but when they do, it's always a Secret Wars event, and that's basically what the Secret Wars. That's what people suspect is this. What's the Secret Wars is going to be is multiple universes incursion upon each other, and then the number of universes being pared down to a few or maybe just one to allow the heroes from the other universes to come into our mainline MCU.
And if anybody wants to go read the comics,
what was that, Simone?
Sorry, Furious. I'm saying I hope they do a good job with bringing in quality actors and actresses to portray the X-Men.
Yeah.
I want a Storm. I want a Storm that from Wakanda. I want her to be that strong. I want her to be that dark, that beautiful, that goddess. I don't want some light-skinned black. I have no problems with light-skinned blacks, but I don't want
that Storm. That's not Storm.
As Storm.
Yeah. I want a brown Storm with a real accent or ability to portray an accent.
I want the chick from. I'm sorry, not the chick. I want the woman from Nancy. What movie was that? Or series? With the New Gods.
Who's Jade Cargill?
Oh,
she's a wrestler.
Oh, Bilquis. You talking about Bilquis from American Gods?
Thank you, American Gods. Yes, I want her.
I was gonna say Marvel needs to employ the writers of the current X-Men run to.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
I hope.
No, they'll be there. But the one thing I will say this about Marvel is that in all of these movies writing them, no matter what the title is, they've had writers from previous comic book runs of those characters in the writer's room to help them write these stories.
They ain't doing a good job with Fantastic Four.
We ain't gonna talk about the Fantastic Four right now.
That wasn't Marvel. That wasn't Marvel. That was Fox.
That was Fox.
Has Fox done a good superhero movie?
No.
Did Marvel not buy that?
Yes.
X-Men 2. X-Men 2 wasn't a good movie.
So but Fox hasn't done a good superhero film.
And they haven't produced anything since Marvel bought them.
They're producing a Fantastic Four.
I mean, they screwed. Look. How can you butcher the Phoenix twice?
Yeah.
I mean, she keep rising.
That's what she do,
right?
I mean, you can't keep her dead. So, no, Latoya, we're not. No. You can be excited by yourself. Teresa, thoughts on where you think the storylines in the
Madam Web and Logan.
First, can you post the comments?
Yeah,
I'm not seeing them.
Click on the comments
because I've got y'all in full screen because otherwise I can't see.
So this is one.
Okay, thank you.
The next one is the one that we were talking about, like Logan, and then Latoya says she was so, at all caps, I'm so excited for Madam Web.
You are on your own, Latoya.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I think Madam Web. To me, Madam Web would make a good character to be a piece in a bunch of different Spider-Person movies. I personally don't believe Madam Web needs her own movie.
You want to do her like the lady that runs the Suicide Squad? She just show up places.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? No, like in
Amanda
the
Waller.
animated series in the '90s, like
Right.
Madam Web would show up. Yeah, she's not even. Thank you. She's not even blind. I was just like they should have did it like the Spider-Man animated series had in the '90s.
Time
Like
out.
have her
Pause.
show up every once in a while. Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about a crappy Sony movie for the rest of the show. We're gonna stay on the Marvels. We are not gonna talk about crappy Sony films. That means you all in the comments too. So no more crappy Sony movies, whether they're out or not.
Well, Furious. Then I'm going to go back to Maria because her costume.
I want to get Teresa's thoughts real quick
that
before you go,
costume.
Simone. I know. But let me get Teresa's
No,
thoughts.
that's not it.
The post-credit scene, Teresa. Your thoughts as far as where you hope or think the MCU is going, because you're the only one we didn't hear from.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll just say, once again, I don't know canon. I don't know the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I lean more towards just wanting to be entertained and just wanting to enjoy, what's going on, as opposed to a Kyle who wants everything to be perfect. Because I was really excited about when I saw the blue furriness of Beast and heard Kelsey Grammer. I was excited. He could have looked like, whatever.
I'm glad they pulled him in. I'm glad.
Yes, I was just thoroughly excited and pretty, just about anything else that happened, I might have missed it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't looking at his CGI. His CGI didn't bother me. I'm excited about the potential for, the continuation of the story. And that's all I'm really I probably X door. I probably didn't even catch that because, like I said, I don't know canon and I don't know all of these nuances.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I think I'm a little slow because.
No, you're not.
You're not.
Because
Teresa, let me throw this out at you. One thing about Beast in the comics, his mutation has caused his physical form to change a lot. So the Kelsey Grammer as Beast that you saw may not be the version of Beast that we get. So and I know you don't read the comics, but just throwing that out there. So if you see him look different again, in the comics, his mutation has caused him to look different.
Well, not just that, he keeps fucking around trying to fix his mutation and constantly looking different.
Yeah. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But when you said that, I wanted to at least throw that piece out there for you.
No, that's fine. It took me a second when, I knew that was the actress who played Maria Rambo.
He's not too old.
Yeah, you can still use him. It's like at this point, him being
voice.
CGI.
He's not too old.
His voice, yeah.
Because it's his voice, and I think the recognition, that he has a powerful voice, and I think that more than anything, they don't have to use him.
It's his voice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited because I want them to move in these to incorporate these other things into the storyline, and I appreciate that post-credit scene introducing these other people and reminding me of who Maria Rambo was played by, because like I said, I'm a little, sometimes it takes me a minute to put two and two together, because I did not remember her from when we were talking about Multiverse of Madness. Wasn't she in that one?
Yes, she was.
Yes, I missed that. So, and Joy said she didn't like kids. I get that. I don't like them sometimes, but for some reason I like Kamala. She's endearing to me. That may change though, because she's very much like Spider-Man, being that youthful and just really exuberant. And
puppy.
The first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, he talked so much. I was ready to grab him by his neck and strangle the life out of him. So it may come to that with Kamala, but thus far I like her. So I was happy to see her, like I think James said, kind of reenacting that the Iron Man scene and going out and pulling the Young Avengers in. So and I liked I don't have a problem with the heroes versus superheroes. I enjoyed Hawkeye. So, with Kate
I like
Bishop being
Hawkeye
the
too.
first one, I'm happy. All I want is connection for the story to continue in a good substantive way. So I'm good.
And that's what makes her
Sure.
endearing, her corniness.
Hold
Yeah.
on. JD Smith cut. No, sir.
Nah,
No.
homie. No.
No.
What?
No.
I didn't.
You
Yeah, no, we don't need that.
No.
We don't need
paraphrase
that.
Dwayne Johnson from about 20 years ago. You can take this comment, turn it sideways, and stick it straight up your candy.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No. Ezra Miller's Flash was garbage.
Yeah, it was annoying. Very annoying.
But no, I am looking forward to. I like the recruiting scene where she approaches Kate and says, "Did you know Ant-Man has a daughter?" So we already know where she's going next.
Right.
Are they gonna pull in
Please-
Hulk's son?
Please recast her. Please recast her. By the way, please
Recast
recast-
Ant-Man's daughter.
Yes.
Or cast her
Again,
back.
They just
Again,
recasted her for
yeah.
the Quantum Mania
For the love
because
of-
the
yeah,
previous
for the love of
actress was
God.
problematic. So I mean, this is going to be what, the third actress to play her, fourth if you count the first two films.
Okay, just make sure you get the names right.
Hey,
Hey,
but-
if you're going to get rid of Terrence Howard and bring in Don Cheadle, damn it, you can get rid of whoever's playing Ant-Man's daughter and bring in somebody else.
Look,
Yeah,
I'll be
absolutely.
perfectly honest. The last two actors to play Cassie Lang looked the same to me, so I couldn't even tell you that they were different.
I didn't know they replaced anybody.
It's just
Me
like
neither.
in
I knew they did.
it's just like in the first three Thor films that a different actor played Fandral in every single
Yeah.
movie.
For real.
Yes, a different actor played Fandral in each of the first three Thor movies, and one of them is
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, who played
Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I would say he actually-
one of those movies.
Yeah, he came back for because I think it's only been two because he came back for one. He came back for a movie.
It's
You
literally
sure?
three different actors. Yes, it is three actors.
Okay, I thought he was there for two at least.
Because what is it? The series that CinemaSins does everything wrong with, and when they were doing Ragnarok, they actually pointed. No, not that one. It's honest trailers. Honest trailers for Thor Ragnarok. They actually point out they recasted this character three different times, and you didn't even notice.
He wasn't in Thor: Dark World.
He was in Dark World, but it was a different actor. Let's put it this way. One actor played him in the first Thor movie, a different actor in the Dark World, and then a different actor in Ragnarok, where they all got killed.
And nobody noticed.
And that's
Or
and
barely
that's what Honest Trailer
anybody
says.
noticed.
So if you watch Honest Trailer for Thor Ragnarok, they point that out and it's like, you didn't even notice. But no, I like where this is going. My only concern is because we're experiencing this now and we've seen it. It's prevalent. Young Avengers is diverse as fuck.
Yeah.
There are virtually zero white men in Young Avengers.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
It is a team of mostly women, and the male characters are minorities.
Isn't Spider-Man gonna be in there though?
It's either going to be well, they haven't introduced Miles Morales yet, so it's going to be
No,
again,
I mean Peter Parker.
Well,
no, not Peter Parker. If they're going Young Avengers, the Spider-Man they would use would be Miles Morales, but they'd have to introduce him.
Peter Parker is an old Avenger.
yeah.
Right.
Which we know Miles Morales exists in the MCU. We haven't seen him, but we know he's there.
So here's something. Do you all feel that they can have a future with these heroes as the Avengers? Honestly, I say yes. The only again, my concern is the reception from a particular loud vocal minority that will rail against a team of mostly women and no white men.
Yeah.
So our generation is not gonna embrace them. Basically,
Right.
it's
So they
not gonna
might-
be.
Well, yes, Latoya, but I mean, from what I've read of Young Avengers, those two don't feature much in the stories that I've read. So I have not seen much of them in the stories of Young Avengers I've read.
And
It's-
I would
those
say
are
Wick. I would
Wanda's
say
Wanda's twins, yes.
imaginary. Okay.
Imaginary, yes. Her kids that are imaginary and will become real at some point.
Okay.
And let's not talk about the relationship between Hulkling and Wiccan.
Wiccan. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they
A
do have a
lot of
relationship.
people are not going to be happy about that.
No, they're not.
And they can eat a dick.
I mean,
because look, this team is pretty much going to be led because I see them doing a mashup really of taking characters from both the Champions and Young Avengers, because Kamala is actually the leader of the Champions, and it looks to be that she's going to be the leader of this Young Avengers team, which usually, from what I've read in comics, is normally Kate Bishop.
I have a feeling the Young Avengers team is just going to be a rebranded Champions from the comics.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
You think it'll be
Especially
both?
since, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Do you think it could be both? Kate
can-
Bishop and Kamala?
Co-leaders, possibly in a Rogers Stark dynamic. Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
But Stark's not in charge. He just pays for stuff.
Makes you look good. You look
It's-
good.
yeah.
Them look good.
I would say I forgot about America. I forgot about America Chavez,
Chavez
from
is a member,
yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
The
yeah.
two- and also remember, we don't know where Vision is. I don't know that we'd get a daughter from Vision per se.
I don't think we get a Viv. I don't know if we get a Viv Vision.
The other thing to think about is for the comic book nerds, we all know that the only time we truly cared about the Avengers is when they had X-Men on the team. I'm concerned that once the X-Men are introduced to the universe proper, I don't know that people are going to care that much about the Avengers anymore.
Only one. Cyclops was on the Champions until they sent
that
him back
was
to his time
to the-
frame.
Yeah,
To his
yeah, 'cause
timeline,
that was
yeah.
Cyclops from the past.
Yeah, because
I just want to see Logan.
I'm wondering who are they going to
One
get
of
to
my
be
baby
the
daddy.
new Logan.
Huh?
I'm wondering who they're going to cast the Logan going forward.
oh gosh. Geld is back to the Marvels.
Hugh Jackman can only. Well, okay, yeah. Sorry.
We'll save that for. Look, Deadpool 3 is coming. We'll get to that down the
Yeah.
line.
Sorry, yeah. No, this is the Marvels. Sorry. As we can see from the background up here.
Yes, but her costume is not there. The one in the movie, that's the one I want to make.
I like the one. The one in the movie was
The
dope.
one in
I
the
really
movie
liked
was
it.
hot. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I need to. And I've been scouring the internet for that.
Simone, do you know? We'll talk about it offline. I got somebody you might want to get in touch with.
And Simone,
can
that
make it?
costume,
Yes.
Okay.
and Simone, Tiana Paris's costume from the movie actually is in the comics. It's the she wore it in the Ultimates.
Okay. I got it because I was Googling and I'm like, I need to.
She
I want to
wore
go
something
and
like that
buy
in the
all of this
Ultimates.
material so I can either make it myself or send it to somebody else to make. So, like, I was trying to get it. It's like I was ready.
So yeah, and that was the thing. I like that when they were on the Singing Planet, they all had literally all their costumes were comic book accurate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
You
actually, James, the one of her in the black trench coat is from the Ultimates.
She had two. I know the black trench coat behind you. Yes, that's one of them. But she had two. I know that was a short run, but yeah, I can't remember if it was towards the beginning of the series or at the end of the series, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, since we got about 10 minutes, final thoughts for everyone on the film. And just one thing you loved or did not like. I won't use the H word.
Kyle might though.
I know. Because Kyle likes to choose violence. We've already established Kyle likes to choose violence. Simone.
Just the dynamics between all the three women, how they brought it together, and how Monica was damn near Tony Stark. She was the smartest person in the room. I loved it, and making the others look like what the hell? Can you dummy it down for me? Because I don't know what the hell you just said. So I I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that it was funny where it needed to be. That's just for me. It did what it needed to do for me. And I can't wait to see how they gonna go forward with the the ending, how it brought everybody in. So I'm looking forward to the X-Men, her mother, Maria. I'm just looking forward to everything, just to seeing how it's going to move forward. That I'm excited about. And I know that's probably going to be what, 2025, 26, 27.
It's going to be a minute.
Yeah.
Teresa.
Black minute.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
CT
5
minute.
years. 5 years. Okay.
Teresa.
Black girl magic. That
Yep.
was my favorite line in the whole
Yep.
movie. I literally barked laughter when he was like, she's like, I don't know, how do I do it? Black girl magic. That, you know, that sums it up for me.
Yeah. Okay. Joy.
The cats. At the end of the movie.
I was hoping nobody was gonna say anything about that.
Right. Right.
I forgot all about them damn cats.
The
I
flirking.
was
my
happy
God.
nobody. Yeah, yeah. The cats
The
were great.
flirking.
Yep.
Yes.
Not cats. Flirking.
The
Yeah.
Flirkin' Palooza in slow motion at the end. I almost slid out of my chair laughing. I don't know why. I thought it was so funny.
You mean when
Just
they were
watching all the
floating in
people
when they were
scream.
floating in space?
Yes, it was great.
Oh, God.
Stop running and let the flirkins eat you.
Yes.
Right.
Who's going to stop running and let a creature eat them?
Right.
Oh.
Well, apparently in the MCU, the Fleur can have a pocket dimension in his stomach. So,
Mm-hmm.
Furious.
You should watch My Damon on Netflix. It's great.
Furious.
Pocket dimension in the stomach.
Well, let's see. Since Joy stole mine,
It was the cat.
I was hoping nobody was gonna say it because I was gonna bring up the cats because we never talked about the cats at all in the for tonight, and I was gonna.
I was
bring them up.
trying not to.
Man, the Flurkins were great. I would say my favorite thing from the movie, honestly, is probably the way the three of them learned to work as a team. Because when they first started out, they were using powers, people were switching places, they couldn't figure it out. But then they started working and training, and they learned to fight together. And that, to me, I think is going to be very important going forward in these movies. Even though their powers are no longer interlinked, the fact that they learn how to fight as a team, I think will be very beneficial going forward for whoever the next big bad is going to be.
And she did get both bracelets, right?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
So,
Because
yeah,
what's her
that's
name
something I
died in
missed.
space.
So that's something I missed in the final sequence with Kamala and Carol is that they got both bracelets, but Kamala's only wearing one. And you're like, wait, where's the other one? But if you notice when they get into the plane, Carol's wearing the other one. So Carol's wearing one bracelet. Yeah, Carol's wearing one bangle and Kamala's wearing the
Are you sure about that, James? Because
because I was, trust me, the first time I saw it, I was like, where's the other bangle? And the second time I saw the movie, I was like, oh, Carol has it on.
Because at one point she has both of them on.
During the fight sequence, yes. I'm talking about at the end of the film.
When they're sitting in the plane.
When they're sitting in the plane. When they go to sit in the plane, when you see them, when she's like, does the plane fly? Can we go fly? And they walk over there. You look at Kamala's wrist. She's still wearing her regular bangle on, like, what is it? Her left wrist that she normally wears it on. But her right wrist is bare. But when you look at Carol, she's wearing the other bangle.
Okay.
And you see it in that sequence when they walk over and get inside the plane.
Okay.
Kyle. You're muted, Kyle.
You're muted.
You're muted.
As he should be.
Chorus.
Come on, man. Come on.
This is too easy. You know, Kyle, give us your final thoughts.
All right. So again, I like Kamala Khan in the film, which gives me hope and faith in the new Avengers, and the young Avengers. However, based on executive interference in this movie, studio interference in this movie, I hated the end result. Like, I wish we got a better villain, better written villain. I wish it was a better written movie. Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and mute yourself again.
You like Darvin? Bruh.
So yes, the villain in this movie I actually like because we got we got clear representation of what she was fighting for.
Yep.
Right, because we saw that at the end of the first Captain Marvel film, Carol tells what's his name?
Jude Law's character. I can't think of what his name is.
But yeah, it tells Jude Law's character, tell the Supreme Intelligence I'm coming and I'm like tearing down everything. And we see that in her memories, they see the mind meld and the flashbacks that she destroyed the Supreme Intelligence. And it ruined their society because they did not know how to function without it. And because they didn't know how to function without the Supreme Intelligence, they were basically in civil war. Multiple civil wars from Captain Marvel up until basically recently. And Carol felt bad because apparently she never went back to try to fix that. She just destroyed the Supreme Intelligence and peaced out. And she felt responsible for
She was responsible
for the end of their society. So yes, Dar-Benn is like, all right, so we found this bangle. I know with the universal weapon, I can create wormholes and port in the essential things that we need to revive our planet, right? Except instead of just going to any uninhabited planet and getting these resources, I'm gonna just go after every place that Carol calls home and take it from there since she ruined our society.
Yep.
What more motivation did you need outside of that? I thought that was great.
Yeah. She had clear reason to hate and want to kill Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. It wasn't this whole the universal. It wasn't this whole the universal thank me once there's half the life gone because I think this is the right thing. No, she had clear, direct motive. You fucked up my planet. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Pretty much. So she was going after Earth's sun to rejuvenate their sun. She went after that planet water because that planet was like 96% water, and the Skrull refugee camp was basically snatching their oxygen.
Yep.
So I don't see what the problem was. It was clear cut right there.
And she died at the end too. So
I mean, she died at the end because she was being stupid. They told her, "Hey, these things are more powerful." Because again, Kamala saw what happened in her series to the Jinn, as far as we're trying to use the power of the bangle in a way that it wasn't intended. So,
did anybody catch that the Jinn? There's a comic called Jinn where they're all genies and they're blue and they wear bangles just like the one that Kamala Khan has.
Basically, they're Kree.
That's what I'm wondering.
Are the Kree Jinn or like banished Jinn? Banished Kree, if you will.
That's what I'm kind of wondering.
That we don't know. Cool. We just know the Jinn exist, and they're the source of legends for which our genies come from. So.
But can they make me a prince though?
Prince Ali, Magnificent He, Ali Ababwa.
Yes.
You gotta wish for it. I can't get you out of this one. Just say, I wish you would free me from the bottom of the ocean. Yep. Okay, let's go. Oh gosh. Anyone have any other final thoughts before we shut it down for the evening?
Well, now the real question, Joy, is do you want the Robin Williams or the Will Smith?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I do not want to hear Will Smith talk, please.
At all.
And here's the thing. I really stand Will Smith's rap music way longer than I should have. Like I went down with the last album. And I think he's very talented. But as a genie for me, of those two, clearly Robin Williams. I know. I would be mad for the rest of my life if I knew Robin Williams was out there somewhere and I'm sitting here listening to Will Smith talk to me in my ear. The thing that I've learned in my life about wishes, because I wished for things when I was younger, and now I'm happy with the things I have. So are you sure you want this wish? You want to listen to my last album? Yeah, I don't need that.
All right. And on that note, we're going to get out of here for the evening for our wonderful panel. Thank you for joining us again for Moana Nui After Dark presents our discussion on the Marvels. I'm not sure what we're going to do next, but please keep your ears.
Did we do Loki already?
We have not done Loki.
Yeah, I want to bash that. I want to be Kyle in that.
You want to be Kyle?
I'm going to embody Kyle.
Can we have a panel?
Because only the last 2 episodes of Loki I liked. Everything else?
Can we not choose violence?
The chorus.
Can't we all get along?
Let me pull out my Voldemort wand.
Oh, right? She's about to Avada Kedavra, y'all.
But thank you all for joining us. Keep an eye out for the next show, which should be Loki season 2. So I guess Simone can go all Voldemort, evil, Daenerys,
right?
Grinch that stole Christmas on a wonderful show. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
See you guys.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will. So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom, clapped back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.